Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Yes, here we go. Follow the money. Paulie Howard, Palm Readers Unite. Mike Palm in for Mitch Moss the next 2 days. Big program coming up. Mike called it with one series in the NHL. We'll go rapid fire with what happened over the weekend and the two games tonight on ice. We'll talk to new VSiN insider NBA props Dan Carpuck at 2:30 Pacific. Jonathan Davis. We're going to go at him today. We're going to have some fun. He's with Lou Finicaro camp here with Washington. I don't know what he's watching. We love JD. More action than a Rambo movie. Ton of props up on the site. And we'll preview the two games with JD as well. NBA playoffs. Big news, what's going to happen before the Knicks game, real or fugazi, good MLB card. A lot to get to, win, lose. Mike, how you doing, sir?
Great. My thought over the weekend is we're marching towards your exact in the NHL.
I know.
It could be.
Yeah.
What's going to get in the way?
I had to take 14-1 over the weekend as well, too. I just feel like it's going to happen.
You took the reverse?
No, I haven't done the reverse.
Oh, okay.
I still got Carolina over Dallas.
Just Carolina over Dallas.
Yeah, and it's okay. What can you compare this to? Hellebuck in the playoffs on the road.
Maybe Kershaw.
I like it.
Maybe Kershaw. He's winning Cy Youngs, the pitcher of our generation. Couldn't win anything in the playoffs. It wasn't necessarily home road like this guy is, but he couldn't hold a lead. He couldn't get anything done for the Dodgers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hellebuck on the road is incredible.
Yes.
He finished the game, though, so minor upset there.
No
hook. No hook.
For the first time in 5 games. He fools you with the shutout on Friday, which Mitch actually predicted if you want to go contrarian, but 7-1 wasn't enough. And then he comes back, and it's 2-2 in the third. Then the controversial goal, they add 2 more. And again, no problem with the team total going over. Best goalie in the regular season, going to win the Vezina. Best goalie in the sport, worst goalie in the playoffs so far. In his last 9 road playoff games, 1-8 with a 5.20 goals against, pulled in 4 of the last 5. This year, 0-4 with a 6.65 goals against.
And that 9 games you talk about, he's given up at least 4 in every game. At least 4. You just have to fade him on the road.
Yep.
That's all you can do. And when a team can steal a game, which St. Louis never did, can steal a game in Winnipeg like Dallas did in Game 1, a closely contested game, really an evenly played game, you have to give them the advantage on the series. Because when is he going to win a road game?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this year.
Right. I can come back now. It's $1.40 tomorrow. Yep. And then the series price seems low as well.
It's very strange. So they're only $1.40 at home, and they were the favorites for the series.
Uh-huh.
It's too cheap.
Yeah, good point. I'm with you on that one. And again, the team total heavily juiced -2.5, but you don't pay the juice when you win, and that continues to cash against Hellebuck on the road, no problem. And just like VGK, first period over, 8-1 now. And the watch party is tonight. Good timing. You got the big win Saturday. Coincided with the news. Pickard was out. You get Skinner in goal. Riley Smith scores with less than a second left. For the time being, they saved their season. Edmonton blows a 2-0 lead. And then tonight, here, come on down, Stadium Swim. Yeah. Good time at Circa. What do you think now? Skinner inning, and looks like Stone's gonna play for VGK.
Yeah, well, at least we're gonna have a crowd tonight. If it would have went 3-0, they're down 2-0 early, Paul.
Yep.
I said, oh boy, you can drive golf balls out at Stadium Swim on Monday for this watch party. Is everybody coming to avoid the sweep? Now they're back in this series.
I know.
And you feel you got a shot with Skinner. They played much better, obviously. I don't disagree with Cassie that they weren't the worst team in Game 2, but it sure looked like they were going down 3-0. Let's give some credit to William Karlsson, who skated that puck end to end. He picks up the puck with 12 seconds left, Paul, in his own defensive zone and is able to get it all the way down the ice. Riley throws it on net, and the sauerkraut, Leon Draisaitl, stick right there to tap it in. 0.4 to go. Referee's looking right at it, called it no goal.
Where was Skinner going?
No goal.
What was he doing?
Why would you get faked out, like come 30 feet out of your net there with no time left?
Yeah. I don't understand what he's doing.
He's clear one-on-one with you with no time left to go. Just stay out there in the crease.
Oh, that was terrible. All the way around. To blow the lead and then to give up that goal right before the end. So adjusted series price, Edmonton -260. Again, VGK 8-1 of the over in the playoffs in the first period. It's like $1.70 tonight. I think that's a winner. What do you think? Is a road team going to win again, or is Edmonton going to get them?
I think this is going to be a close game tonight. I don't know who's going to win. Can VGK play this well again for a third consecutive game? You need more. I mean, you got nothing really out of the Oilers after the first. Again, it was a microcosm of VGK in game 1, the absolute reverse, where they got the 2 goals early and then got outplayed the rest of the game. Then that's what happened to Edmonton at home again. But it'd be hard to believe four road games in a row, although they're all independent results. I didn't play the game tonight, Paul. I don't disagree with you on these first period overs, though.
Yep. Okay, so what's everyone else watching here with the Washington love? And they saved their season for the time being in game 2. But now Carolina is minus 290 at DraftKings, minus 170, 180 to win in regulation. Total domination in game 3. We're coming right back with Anderson under 21.5 saves. There hasn't been a goal scored in the first period of the whole series.
This is the only series of the whole playoffs you can comfortably bet the first period's over.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about both rounds.
Well, yeah. This under here over BGK. So we can't get a first period goal here. But now, shots for the series, 89-56. Attempts, 256 to 133. Thompson was solid, but not good enough. Anderson gets the shutout, as I've said from the get-go. And Ovechkin's done nothing in this series. How is Washington going to generate any offense and do it? They have 3 goals, if you take out the Wilson empty net. They have 3 goals in the entire series.
I think, so let's look at game 3. I thought Carberry made some adjustments, and they played pretty well in the first period. I thought the Caps played them evenly in Raleigh in the first period. And then Brindamore makes his adjustments. What's Carberry going to do? You're 100% right. They have taken Ovechkin completely out of it. Power play and 5-on-5 here.
Yep.
So now this is going to be the coach of the year, Paul. Spencer Carberry, what are you going to do now? You've got to make the adjustments because I don't think you can win this straight up playing the way you are. I thought in game 2, which we lost, or I lost, I don't know if you bet it or not, that the perfect got in the way of the good. In the first period, Carolina was trying to find the perfect shot. Instead of 94 attempts in game 1, here they were in game 2 trying to find the perfect shot instead of just throwing pucks on net, which they needed to do. And then they fell behind 1-0, and they couldn't overcome that. Although I don't know if anybody going to overcome a lead in this series. First goal might win every game.
True, yeah. And I thought game 2 was kind of a fluke because you had the turnover, which led to the breakaway. Then you had the beautiful goal on the power play, the only power play goal that Carolina's given up, and then just couldn't solve Thompson, who was great. But as I said, Thompson can steal a game. Can he steal more than one in a series? Highly unlikely. Adjusted series price, Carolina minus 550. And you said this too. Whoop-de-doo. Toronto won the first 2 at home. Florida now 190 to win the series and $1.40 to win Game 5 in Toronto on Wednesday. They blew a golden opportunity Friday. They led 2-0 and 3-1. I couldn't depend on Wall. They couldn't win the game, and Marchand scores in overtime. Great job by the viewer who had 100-1. I saw the ticket. And then you shut him down, and I can't get 2 goals out of you or even 1.
Wall was great yesterday.
I know. He was
phenomenal.
If they flipped it, it'd be 3-1.
Yeah.
But he was great. And then it's 1-0 late till they had the final goal, and now it's series tied up as 2 as you predicted. And you said you had to take the plus money.
Well, now I come back with Toronto here. I'm done with the series. I took plus 180, and now I take plus 160, and it's all over. I don't have to worry about Florida stealing a game on the road.
Okay. And we still don't know what Stolarz doesn't look good, they said. So we're stuck with Wall. But it was right there for him on Friday night to be up 2-0 right away.
They had to bury the champs.
And up 3-1 as well. So what do you mentioned at the top of the show. What do you think now?
Well, it's a 2 out of 3 race with 2 games in Toronto, so you still have to lean Toronto. So that's what this series is all overreaction. But you knew this was going to happen. They would go right back to the same price that they were before the series if they won on home ice in Florida, and that's what happened. So that's why you had to, from a betting perspective, take the 180 after game 2.
Dallas, the favorites. Carolina right behind them for odds to win it all. And it seems like it's going to go that way. And then to win the conference, Carolina plus 145, Dallas plus 140. And I see Carolina winning tonight easy, and I see Dallas taking out Winnipeg easy.
What's Rantanen now to be Conn Smythe here?
Well, with that big move, what happened? You missed the move from 33 to 1 to.
Yeah, but I mean now I wouldn't.
He's plus 450,
and Dallas is higher than that.
But
why would you bet it now? I mean, now it's ridiculous.
Right. Anderson 8 to 1. Can they win all these games 3-1?
I guess he's still alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
To Junkyard Dog's point, he's still alive.
Yeah. Thompson, he can't get there. Now he's down. Well, he's still 45 to 1.
Yeah, but that's based on Washington winning it. I mean, if Washington wins it, it's going to be him.
That's much better than the 19 to 1 or 17 to 1 to come back and win it. Yeah, that's the way to go. NBA coming up next. We'll go rapid fire and some big news tonight. Smarter bets start here. Last all year long with VSiN Pro. For a limited time, we're slashing the price of the annual subscription. Normally $240, now just $199. When you sign up today, we get 2 months for free. So 14 months, less than 50 cents a day. Promo code PRO. Every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits, DK and Circa, the 24/7 live video, and the special edition betting guides. VSiN.com/subscribe now. Promo code PRO. Lock in 14 months for just $199, VSiN.com/subscribe. What'd you think of the Michael Jordan news?
I'm interested to see how they use him.
Unbelievable if he's like a studio guy.
He has to be, right? Is he going to be calling games?
I would hope so. No.
He's not going to. That's time commitment.
Yeah, special contributor is kind of an interesting title. But if you get him on a regular basis or once in a while on the studio, I think that's gold. If he's going to be himself and be honest. You saw what he did on The Last Dance. He just took everyone apart and ripped after Scottie Pippen, for God's sakes, what he did. 2 games tonight. The fun starts before the Knicks game. This guy can't miss. Everyone wants him. They can change what happens tonight with the future of several organizations. I'll give you the odds and explain coming up next on Follow the Money, live from Circa, downtown Las Vegas, circalasvegas.com and Sirius XM Channel 158.
What's the guarantee? Eric?
Time to make history. Millions are calling. Look for the Circa Million and Circa Survivor Guarantee on May 22nd, 2025. 2 ways to win. Millions guaranteed. 100% payback.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah. Came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
Responsible sports betting starts with a game plan. That means stick to a budget. Keep it social by playing with friends. Learn the game and know the odds. Play with trusted legal operators. And if you need help, reach out. If you're getting in on the action, visit haveagameplan.org to learn more.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
One more thing on the NHL playoffs. The team who lost the previous game scored a first period goal in the next game, 33-15. And the team that lost the previous game scored the first goal of the next game. That's 31-17. So you want to play that. You're on Edmonton and Washington tonight. And we'll talk more about that with the great numbers with Jonathan Davis later in the show. Coming up tonight, the doubleheader in the NBA, Boston and the Knicks. Knicks 1-3 at home, straight up in the playoffs. 5-0 on the road. Boston up to 6.5, 208.5 the total. And Minnesota and Golden State, the night game, which tips at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 Eastern. Minnesota 5.5 and 199.5 the total. The real fun starts at 7 Eastern. Lottery time. Do you think Flag can't miss, can turn around an organization and they can become contenders in 3 to 4 years?
Too early to say, Paul, for me.
Yeah?
Had the body of work. I mean, it's tough. They had, he had a nice season. He was neck and neck with Broom for Player of the Year the whole way. Possible, but I don't like to use can't miss, right? I mean, there are two guys drafted ahead of Jordan too. So I mean, it's tough to say. I think he definitely can help an organization, but some of these, one person alone can't do it. You have to have at least three pieces.
Well, the other big news is if someone comes from behind in the back and you see an upset, like what happened last year where Atlanta went from 10-1. I think the Islanders did the same thing.
This year had a 3% chance.
Yeah, how about that? And then Atlanta, and then we saw the Cavs with a 1% chance when people on the show lost their minds because they got it 3 times in 4 years. 6 teams have never had the number 1 overall pick. Utah, which they're tied with Washington and the Hornets tonight, 14% chance. Denver, Indiana, Memphis, OKC, and Miami. So if someone can sneak up there, then it's like, okay, well, now we have this big asset, and then can we get freak? And if we move up, because now you have to coincide with the report today that Giannis maybe wants out of Milwaukee and is open to talking to other teams. And this could be big for a team like a Houston, who has a 3% chance if they could come up and shock the world in all the assets that they have. San Antonio and Houston, as Brian Windhorst was yelling today over and over on ESPN, San Antonio and Houston with the assets to come up, make a move, and can they move up in this lottery? And what would that mean for Milwaukee? I mean, if that guy...
How about the fan base there? You talk about Dallas.
Oh, please. It's bad. It's like they become Charlotte Part 2 where nobody cares, right?
Oh, you got that right. Exactly right.
Yeah, and even what the Pelicans were looking like before, and they were surprised a lot of people when they got Zion. So you see the odds tonight, 14%, Jazz, Wizards, Hornets, then the Pelicans. Then that would be ridiculous if the 76ers won this. After how they tanked to keep their pick, and then they come up with the Embiid nonsense, that can't be. They can't allow that to happen. Nets 9%, then the Raptors, peekaboo, there's the Spurs. This is hilarious. The Suns, who couldn't even make the play-in after their owner said 26 teams would switch places with us last year. After they got swept, that pick would go to Houston. Blazers 3.7. Then you see the Mavs, Bulls, Kings, and then the Hawks with the chance tonight. Looking forward to it, and we'll see who can win the flag sweepstakes. And
maybe more interesting than the game.
Could be. We've had 3 blowouts, and then Boston just choke. I'm rooting for Washington or Charlotte to get the number 1 pick tonight. And if Flag can go there, that'd be big for the organization. As Tim Bontemp said, you go back like the last 20 years, every big-time stud in the draft has wound up in the Western Conference for whatever reason. It'd be nice if a Flag would wind up in the Eastern Conference. Celtics 6.5, no problem. Does it look too easy? What do you think? I mean,
I went on. This character Amal Shaw that used to be on the network here. I went on their podcast with Britton on Friday for the first time. He said, Mike, the Celtics are going to win the next 4 games. Why wouldn't you take them and lay 115 or 120 or whatever you can? He says, the Knicks will not sniff the winner's circle again. He was very confident of that. And I cannot say that Game 3 would have dissuaded that opinion at all. I mean, that was over. Turn the TV off. Move on.
It was over fast.
Yeah. Find the UFL game and let's go.
Brunson is shooting 38% in the series, only 18 free throw attempts. The Knicks are averaging 95 points per game in regulation and shooting 42%. The Celtics still haven't played well. I mean, Pritchard did a good job in Game 3. Tatum wasn't bad, but Brown is 5 of 23 from 3. And but still, you look up and the 20-point lead in all 3 games. The other thing is Hacker Robinson continues to work out as he's 7 of 23 from the free throw line. But if I can't get a big performance offensively from New York, the only way they're going to win this is if Boston chokes again, or if they're just all-time bad from 3. I mean, you just saw this, that the 3 games, because no one played in the last game, but the 3 regular season games, what happened last year, and then I would say every quarter but 2 of the series, it's been total domination. They don't belong on the same floor. So when you look at it, say, yes, the $8 series price was too low. He is correct what he said. And they win this tonight. They probably win the thing in 6. And now it is also tied in to what happened when they blew them out Saturday and Cleveland down 3-1. Boston's $1.40 to win the East now.
Plus 150 to win the next 3 games here, to win the series 4-2. Not a bad price, Paul.
Yeah, not bad.
Like you say, it's a bet on tonight.
Yeah, it's a huge favorite going back home as well. And then we'll see if it goes over again based on that was a high-scoring game and what happened. So we'll find out what the Knicks are made of tonight. And everyone talked about highest get-in price and the tickets to get in, and the crowd was so – they took them out of it right away. They did a good job, and they're at their best sometimes on the road. So our guest coming up, Carpuck, will have some opinions on the totals. Minnesota and player props. Minnesota and Golden State. Minnesota 5.5, 199.5. Golden State is 6-1 to win the series. 6-1. Can they get one?
Too short.
Yeah. Can they
That's too short.
Wow. Can they get one? And then Curry could come back for Game 6.
I liked what Finch said, Paul. Yeah, let's listen to this Finch. I know I beat this drum, but this Finch laments the 6 games off they had between the closing out the Lakers and the start of this Golden State series, and said this Game 1 loss was on him. We're a rhythm team. We needed to stay in rhythm, and if I had it to do over again, I would do it totally differently, and that's how badly we played in Game 1. That's on me. Now, they didn't play great in Game 3 either, and the Warriors, thought, gave a great defensive effort, but they just didn't have enough at the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a miracle they're staying in these games right now, Paul.
Yep.
But Finch said we need to focus on defending their perimeter and then getting out and running when they miss the long threes, and that's what it's going to be our focus here tonight. I'm going to play Minnesota again here tonight.
Yeah.
I think they're just outmanned, these poor Warriors.
To your point, in Game 2, when Butler was on the floor, 100 points per 100 possessions. When he was off the floor, 84.5, which is downright putrid and awful. They just can't. They don't have enough guys to score. And even you got that all-time performance by Kuminga, and it still isn't enough, as bad as Minnesota played in the first half. And Golden State won the turnover battle. But also, in Game 2, Minnesota had the most wide-open threes since ESPN started tracking this in 2014. I mean, this is just...
I saw the scroll. Oh. They made 18 threes, and none of them were contested.
I know, come on.
None of them.
Yeah. So they can get whatever they want from 3 and great looks. Golden State doesn't have enough guys to score. You even got great performances from Butler and Kuminga. You won the turnover battle, and you still lost the game, which it was a big three-pointer there at the end, too, as well. So it's you're right. On paper, yes, it should be Minnesota. It should be easy. They go back and close them out in 5. But don't give them any life and don't give them any hope here. Can't do it. Got to take them out. And the other thing, I think the NBA blew this with just not sitting Green down and saying this is embarrassing. I mean, we should be talking about what's going on the floor and his antics and fouling out and what he did after the end of Game 2. And this is a guy who sucker punched his own teammate. And then Golden State somehow made the teammate Poole to be the bad guy after what he's done and excuse his behavior. So could be fireworks tonight as well. You never know. But what he does, though, this is smart by what he does. If he gets that technical early, then the officials know, well, I can't throw him out of the game unless he does something.
What is he, really 2 away from getting a suspended game?
2 and 2, and then the flagrants, too. So it's two with both.
Yeah.
But how he plays it, so if he gets that technical, then it's just someone have the guts to actually toss him and kick him out of the game, which how he does it, right? Go all in at Circa Las Vegas with the ultimate getaway package, just $400, 2-night stay at Circa, $100 dining credit, $100 beverage credit in your own day bed at Stadium Swim, where the party never stops, all for just $400. Limited time between May 26th and September 4th. Lock it in now. The all-in summer package. CircaLasVegas.com. $400, 2-night stay at Circa, the dining credit, the beverage credit, and your own day bed at Stadium Swim. Incredible. CircaLasVegas.com and CircaLasVegas.com for all your needs with restaurant reservations, hotel accommodations, and if you want to sit in the sports book, get a booth or go out to the cabana as well. Big news over the weekend in the NFL. We know who's going to open the season. We also know Carr retires. Should we make a bet on Chuck? Mike Detillier will tell us coming up next. Covers the Saints on VSiN. Follow the money, the Sports Betting Network.
If you're serious about betting this season, it's time to go pro. Right now, you can score 14 months of VSiN Pro for just $199. That's 2 extra months on us. We're talking daily best bets, exclusive splits from DraftKings and Circa, full access to the VSiN Watch app, and all of our betting guides, including the Kentucky Derby and the big one, the NFL betting guide. But don't wait, this offer is gone May 31st. Head over to VSiN.com/subscribe and use the code PRO, P-R-O, to lock it in and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Time to talk some football. We know who's going to start the season on Thursday. More on that coming up, and we'll run it by our next guest, Mike Detillier, WWL in New Orleans, college and pro football analyst. He's on the Progressive guest line, and he joins us now to talk about the big news over the weekend. Appreciate the time, my friend. How surprised were you with the news that Carr retires?
I was surprised he retired. I know the last time we had talked, I brought up the fact I didn't think Derek Carr would ever take a snap under center again for the Saints, for one way or another. But the other was not retirement, to be honest with you. I didn't think he would walk, and whatever deal was cut with the Saints and Carr, it was a peculiar offseason for Carr from a standpoint of, he moves his family back to California. He never met with Kellen Moore.
Ooh.
Okay, you're the face of the franchise as the potential starter, the probable starter. You never met with the new head coach. When they had the Super Bowl here, he was not around. Spencer Rattler made the rounds, but he didn't. He was nowhere to be seen. And then all of a sudden, the shoulder injury pops up on a Friday afternoon when Ian Rappaport first broke the story.
Yeah.
And it's just a peculiar situation all the way around. And I will say this, doing this 40 years, he has been the most polarizing player that has ever wore the black and gold. And it goes to show you, when you follow in the footsteps of the soon-to-be Pro Football Hall of Famer in the biggest and most important position on the field, you're going to catch some heat. And he caught it here. Doing the show Saturday, I would say 95% of our callers and texters, they were thrilled that he was not going to be part of this organization. And to be honest with you, in dealing with him, he was a good dude. He really was. But, man, he got put in a really tough situation. And for Saints fans, he could not win that big game when they had to. He had a 14-13 record here.
Mm-hmm.
But in big games against top opponents, he could not cut the mustard and win you his big late.
Well said. That's a great answer. Can you explain how he did the organization a solid on the way out?
Well, because had he decided to have surgery and miss the season, Saints would have owed him $40 million. Instead, he took $10 million, which was part of the agreement when they restructured the deal. And by retiring, that $30 million is not going his way. Now, the Saints still have a dead money cap hit in 2026 because they went to the bank of Carr last year and this year to play in free agency of $35.5 million. But it would have been over 50 had he stayed. So the way I look at it, listen, it was about as good an ending as you could possibly imagine if you're the Saints. It really turned out in the favor of you. When they picked Tyler Shuck with the 40th overall pick, early second-round pick, said at the time, he's your starter, game one. And now he is a big-time favorite. Unless an injury comes involved, Tyler Shuck's going to be the starter for the Saints in a rebuilding football team, and a team that also is getting older on the defensive side of football. When you look at stalwarts like Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu.
Mike, the Saints draft used the 9th pick to take Kelvin Banks Jr., the left tackle out of Texas. Do you think that he will play left tackle this year, or might the Saints use him at guard in order to put the best 5 players on the offensive line?
He's played left tackle all his life. I'm not a big advocate of moving people around. So for me, he'd play left tackle. And then I'd take Taliase Fuaga, who played right tackle his entire career from high school to college. Now, last year, I thought he did a pretty good job overall for never playing left tackle. And it's difficult being moved from right to left tackle. I'd put him back at the right tackle position. You got a big-time player in Eric McCoy at center. Cesar Ruiz is solid at the right guard position. And I figure out what I got to do at left guard. But I don't like moving all this around. And I would much rather see a veteran at the left guard position to have you someone that, could kind of help in difficult situations with a rookie left tackle. Again, they've used early round picks all across the board. The biggest thing that happened there, Ryan Ramczyk retires early due to a knee injury. And then Trevor Penning does not pan out anything close to the type player when you picked him with a first-round pick. So you're still retooling an offensive line here. But I would put Kelvin Banks at left tackle.
Oh, you mentioned it's Chuck's team. What do you think about Offensive Rookie of the Year? And what are your expectations?
He doesn't have a great supporting cast, put it to you this way. So I wouldn't put a nickel on him being the Offensive Rookie of the Year at that spot. But I think we have seen this, and it is rare in the NFL. But I think everybody sort of believes this happens every year. 2 years ago, C.J. Stroud comes in as a rookie, plays like a veteran, does a great job, and brings the Texans into the playoffs. Last year, Jaden Daniels was in my backyard playing at LSU, goes to the Commanders. Hey, I got it. I got this, guys. And what he was able to do. I don't think that that's the norm in the NFL. And so I look at it another way. For me, if I had money to bet on it and I was going in that direction, I would go with Ashton Genty. I know how Pete Carroll runs that offense. I know what they want to do. And that's where I would put my money on Genty.
Phenomenal spot as always. Great to talk to you. Great insight from the listeners and how they felt about him. And thanks for a few minutes, sir. Enjoy the off season.
Thanks a lot, guys. Y'all take care.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Mike Detillier, Sports Saints Report.com host and WWL. That is strong. And I think Raider fans felt the same way. This guy's a lot like Cousins. He made a ton of money, and then how many big games did he win? He went to one playoff game. Now, the Bengals went to the Super Bowl last year, and they had
Raiders could have won that game.
Could have won, should have won, right?
Got a couple bad whistles.
They did. Remember the whistle blew off the touchdown was being thrown?
I'm sitting right next to you. Inadvertent whistle counts.
But this guy made a ton of money. Mike also said something interesting off air that the story isn't over. Isn't this weird? I leave $30 million on the table and I'm going to retire? I'll do you the solid. But number one, you've heard how the fans felt about him. And now the 1 year in 2016, they were going to be the 1 seed, or at least they're going to be the 1 or the 2, maybe the 1. And then he got hurt. And then they had they played Connor Cook, I think, in the playoff loss against, I think Brock Osweiler beat him. But they didn't have a chance. But that's other than that, that's it. 2021, you lose to the Bengals. This guy played a long time. And he also was infuriating to watch. Hold the ball,
How about throwing the ball away on fourth down?
Numerous
How about throwing
times.
it out of bounds on fourth down?
I can't tell you how many times he did that. He would throw it away on fourth down. And he was Charlie check down a lot, too. You know, a lot of people might remember him for the Survivor when the Raiders went to Pittsburgh. And all you needed was one first down.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe he comes back. Who knows? But with that injury and doing him a solid and $30 million. Strange career. Weird trip. But never won a playoff game and made a ton of cash. But certainly polarizing on and off the field. I know he said his first line was, after a lot of prayer, we decided to call it quits. And then give him back $30 million. Wild. Also, they tried to get Dart, but the Giants beat him to it. So they thought no value at 9.
They knew he was
back
gone.
in,
They
but
knew he was gone.
Yeah, but coming back in maybe in the first round that they could grab. Yeah, that's certainly how it played out. It was weird. The guy wasn't coming around. You don't talk to your coach. You don't even meet with the guy. That is weird. But that was also strong too. Because I got plenty of text right when the news came down. Let's get this guy. And then Mike says I wouldn't put a dime on it, put a nickel for Offensive Rookie of the Year in the supporting cast. And they have a lot of issues. I couldn't believe
he got picked. He got drafted where he did, and now he's the third choice for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Only because he's going to get all the snaps, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that combine footage, I can't get past it. And the age. He's going to be 26 years old, right? Incredible. Win-lose coming up next. As always, some big tickets cashed. How about a viewer who had a 100-to-1 shot in the NHL? And, oh, boy, you won't believe what happened in the Premier League. All that coming up with some great videos. Follow the money. Sirius XM Channel 158. Paulie Howard, Mike Palm, live downtown Las Vegas. Circa Hotel and Casino, circalasvegas.com.
Oh, look! Oh, wow, look at that! Derek, what's the guarantee? Derek?
Time to make history. Millions are calling. Look for the Circa Million and Circa Survivor Guarantee on May 22nd, 2025. 2 ways to win. Millions guaranteed. 100% payback.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the sports betting network. last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Here we go. Friday night was wild. Nuggets Thunder Game 3. Denver money line plus 220. Overtime 10-1. Most points, Williams plus 750. He was awesome in that game. Then he was putrid yesterday, but everyone was. But I thought he needed shots at the end and not SGA, who also struggled. Williams had it going, and they blew that game. Most assists, Murray 7-1, and most threes, Porter plus 650. Game 4, most rebounds, Gordon 25-1. Most threes, Gordon 12-1, and Wallace 60. Dead heat. Shame on the league, though, and the schedule makers for that. I mean, I don't know if you bet the under, but they play Friday night in altitude, and it goes to overtime, and then they're the early game Sunday. As Chet Holmgren said, it's essentially a back-to-back. That first quarter was 18-7.
It's entertaining. Very entertaining.
Come on, guys. Cavs, Pacers, Game 3. Most assists, Strus, 75-1. Dead heat with McConnell, 18-1. Game 4. Most points. Siakam, 12-1. Garland, 15-1. Dead heat. As Mike said, it was over in the first quarter. Most rebounds, Turner, 11. Most threes, Turner, also 11-1. Celtics, Knicks. Celtics, 4.5 up to 6 in the over. 205.5 up to 209.5. NHL. Riley Smith, 2 goals, 60-1. Last goal, 30-1. Perry, first goal, 20-1. Hurricanes to win by shutout, 6-1. Hurricanes 220 up to 250. Hellebuck to get a shutout Friday was 7-1. Marchand, last goal, 17-1. To score in overtime, 100-1. Tavares, 2 goals, 22-1. Did Toronto miss their shot?
They had their shot. It's not over. It's not over.
It would have been if they won Game 3. 2-0, 3-1. Come on. And they couldn't score yesterday. Jeff Seeley did it again. He's on the show Wednesday. Wes Reynolds tomorrow to preview the PGA. Straka, 33-1. UFC, 315. Jasmine, round 1, 6-1. Silva by decision, 7. Madalena decision, 8-1. Premier League, did you watch this? This was wild from an in-play standpoint. Man City was like a $6 favorite. Meatman gave out -2. Thought they would crush them. Okay, that happens. 0-0. I don't know what that paid. Draw was plus 650. Then the Man City players were furious, saying Southampton didn't even try to score. Like they weren't even, well, they don't want to set the record for all time for fewest points ever. I mean, they've already been relegated. They're terrible. So they parked the bus, and you saw something interesting in play on this.
I mean, it was still 2.5 the total at halftime, and Man City was still favored to win in the 87th minute on the three-way.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You didn't see draw the favorite till we got into added time.
Added time. The first minute of added time.
Oh, plus 650. Wow. Everton plus 390. West Ham plus 280. Nottingham Forest, Leicester, draw plus 390. Terrible loss. A terrible draw, rather, dropping points. Lose some. Rockies, the first team since the 88 Orioles to start this bad. 21-0. And they fire Bud Black. They're also the first team in history. They allowed 8 runs in a game. And then the next 4, it went up every game. They allowed 10, 11, 13, and 21. That's never happened in history before. And then they won yesterday. But it was just, Elaine.
The GM came out Friday and gave a great vote of confidence to Bud Black. Said they're still playing
hard. I saw
hard.
that.
Said, why would we get rid of Bud Black? He wins a game, they fire him.
Yes. Incredible. Thunder Game 3, OKC 4.5 up to 6.5. Connor Hellebuck. Connor Kershaw, as Mike said. Last 9 road playoff games, 1-8 with a 5-2-0. Pulled in 4 of the last 5. This year, 0-4 with a 6-6-5 on the road. Subscribe, be part of the team. Vson.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. This has never happened to me. This is where the dog is so proud. Look at him. He went in the mud and all over in his face. I'm like, yeah, you like that. Now you got to give me a bath and clean everything up. Don't go. You stay outside. I'll bring the hose. Covered in mud, this guy. Good looking pooch, too. And he's so proud. Oh, man. That's a bad beat. You got to get the hose out. That's going to take a while to clean him up. And how about a good sea lion video? It's been too long. Look at the guys out there. This has been all over social media for a while. The sea lion comes up. Oh, here's the water. I think I'll go in for a swim. Right? Jumps in the pool. This is at a hotel. Jumps in the pool at the hotel. And he goes all the way. Now look at the guy here just hanging out. You know where this is going, right? The guy's hanging out. Catching some right. Here he comes, the big fella. Get out of here. That's where you just go in your pants, dive in and swim. And give me my towel at least. You're not taking my towel. And the guy just sits there on the chair.
Must be hard to get a towel at that hotel. My God.
Barely snatched it up. Look at him, just staring at him like, the guy's just perplexed about, you want to take my spot now? Get out of here. And he grabs his towel. The guy waddles over. He had the whole thing mapped out. He had a whole game plan about what he was going to do. Comes up from the rocks, jumps in the pool, and then he takes the guy's chair.
You're going to lay out.
And takes his spot.
Where was this at, Paul? Do you know?
I don't know. Luke can maybe find out, but that's... Interesting. Do you think it's like San Diego or La Jolla?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that could be.
Where's their random sea lions?
Yeah. Bad beats. How about Friday night? A's Yankees. 3-0 in the seventh. It explodes late. Diamondbacks plus a run and a half. They led by 3 in the ninth. Dodgers tie it. Then Ohtani hits a 3-run bomb. 14-11. Gordon's 3 yesterday with 2 seconds left was also huge in that game. NBA playoffs heating up. Our partner Profit X offering the best odds all playoffs long. Profit X peer-to-peer sports exchange. Available in 40-plus states. You'll be able to make your sports picks against other groups of fans rather than against sports books. Exchanges guarantee you the best odds on average by 10 to 20%. You can even request your own odds. Download Profit X today, code VSiN. Earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. Profit X. Go get it. So I tried this last week with Bob Ryan, and he was having none of it. He shut me down. But I want to get into this quickly, and I know they wrote about it. It was front page on ESPN.com. This is a huge game tonight for many reasons. Can the Knicks make the conference finals for the first time since 2000? And can the Celtics tie this, and can they win the series? But as I tried to get at it with Bob Ryan, the Celtics were sold for $360 million 20 years ago. This year they were sold for $6.1 billion. Now, next year the new TV deal kicks in, which was 11 years for $77 billion. Tatum's new deal kicks in. Horford's a free agent. If the Celtics would go out this round, you can't even make the conference finals. Their payroll is $500 million next year. So the new guy's coming in saying, I'm $6 billion just to get this, and we can't even make it to the conference finals, or we'll see what happens after this series. They're going to have to cut some fat here.
Bob Ryan wanted no part of that.
No. He goes, let the season play out first. I don't want... Yeah, shut me down. He goes, I don't mean to be condescending, but I want nothing to do with that question. But I think it's important here about the ramifications if the champs can't even get to the conference finals or the NBA finals, that there's just no way that you're going to spend that kind of coin on the team and then run it back with the tax and second Amber and all that stuff and spend $475 or $500 million on the payroll.
I think the narrative around Boston is interesting, Paul, because before last year, they were the team that couldn't get it done, right? They were their own worst enemy, this, that, and the other.
Well, I still think it would have happened, though, last year.
Yeah.
And everyone got hurt.
And then they found themselves, all the way to the finals, and then that was just a really good, I agree with you, a very good matchup for them. Bad matchup for Dallas in the finals.
Right.
But now the narrative is, they're the royalty. They're the proven commodity. Well, except for this blurb of one season, with a lot of fortune in the playoffs, they're still the team that is their own worst enemy. I'm not saying they're not going to win this series. I think Amal Shaw is right. And they're probably going to end up playing Indiana.
That's right.
In
home court.
With home court in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
So
they remind me of the Bobby Cox Braves a little bit. I mean, they finally got it done, but it was Cox, I think, and the Braves won it in that after the strike
getting
year,
beat by
short season.
Sterling Hitchcock in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they just underperformed in the playoffs.
The Phillies
so many
team,
years.
Yes. Yeah. That Phillies team beat them.
They won it once. They beat the Indians.
Yeah.
One time. They were the bridesmaids.
But, six out of the last 8 years you make the conference finals, but then you only win it one. You should have beat Golden State, too. So that's true. If they can't get this done and they flop again, and who knows? They won Game 3. They were impressive. But I'm with Mitch. If they lose this series, I'd be looking for a new coach, too. Absolutely. But stuff went their way from 3 early on. Brown still can't get going. They've done a good job defensively. And we'll see here where the Knicks 5-0 on the road, but 1-3 at home. And Celtics laying 6.5 tonight. We'll get back to the NBA and all the props coming up in half an hour with our new NBA insider and props guy, Dan Carbuck. Up next, MLB. It's a good card. More on the putrid Rockies and all the records they're setting for the wrong reasons. What if I told you a pitcher was going today, and against the team in the last 4 starts, he's 0-3 with an ERA of 12+. I'll tell you who that is next, coming up on Follow the Money. VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
And we're out.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I need to load funds into my gaming apps.
Stormy, really, with